Hey guys, how's it going? It's 8-Bit Eric, and I wanted to touch on this topic. It came out a while back. It's about the PlayStation 5 and a potential redesign that we will be getting in regards to it. So apparently there's been a lot of issues, a lot of rumors about Sony needing to redesign the PlayStation 5 for, I guess, cost effectiveness and things like that. It'll evidently help the console for whatever reason, I guess, as far as production goes. So we're going to read this article. It's going to give a little bit of details and stuff. Take a lot of this with a grain of salt because Sony hasn't gone an official record to really discuss any in-depth details about the PlayStation 5 redesign. So before we get to this, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, why don't you click that red subscription button down below and let's begin, guys. So details of Sony's PS5 redesign leaked, and it sounds epic. The new model could be worth waiting for. So I know some people were already saying they wanted to wait for a PS5 Slim or some kind of console redesign. To me, I still think it's way too early to even be talking about this, much less thinking about it. We're not even 6 months into the next gen, but time moves fast, right? So the big PS5 news recently is that Sony may be forced to redesign the console in order to get stock moving. As anyone who's tried and failed to get hold of one in the past few months will know, it ain't easy. And we've been covering that same song and dance, the whole scalper situation since back in September when they were doing pre-orders for the console, then following all the restocks and all the news with that stuff. We've been covering it, and it is absolutely nuts. It's truly outrageous just how crazy this console generation is with its demand. Now, Sony blames a shortage of semiconductors. We talked about this for quite some time. AMD is having trouble producing these tiny little chips that go into everything, not just PlayStation 5s or Xboxes or Switches, but other devices that we need as well. So it's basically a bottleneck. Corona, for whatever reason, really impacted this. I don't know why it would be this strong, considering all the other things and resources that we have in life. The fact that the electronics industry got hit much more. Maybe it's because, I guess the pandemic over in West Asia is a little bit more harder to control right now. I have no idea, but these semiconductors are the cause of the problem. And it's been the reason why Sony has said they can't really produce these at a bigger rate, even though they did request for production to speed up. Now, continuing on, this says, according to new leaks, the tweaked console could pack considerably more power, which that's what I'm a little peanut butter and jelly about. If this new design has more power, I'm going to want it. And thanks to new custom AMD silicon, it sounds like the next iteration of the PS5 will be worth waiting for. Although if you fancy your chances right now, they do have a link on attempting to buy PS5. I haven't been keeping up with the restocks, admittedly, within the last week or so. I've just kind of been like, a little burnt out on that. But I do appreciate you guys asking me if I know anything about restocks and stuff like that. I'm going to get back to it. It seemed like the whole restock situation was just not going anywhere. It was like the same video going over and over. Now, citing supply chain sources, Digitimes claims production of the redesigned PS5 will kick off in 2022. Meaning we could see a new model as early as next year, and with an AMD chip featuring a 6nm process, as opposed to the current model 7nm, it could be a lot more powerful. So this sounds enticing. The fact that we could already be getting a more powerful redesign, and it's talking about it, kind of makes me, I don't want to say have buyer's remorse or whatever, but I know a lot of people live by this creed of don't buy the new consoles right away when they launch. For me, I always get them when they launch. I need the new hotness. I need the new console. I need the new, whatever it is that's out, the latest and greatest, as some people like to coin the phrase. But I guess good things come to those who wait. If it's going to be slightly more powerful, I don't think this is the mid console tier, like how we had a PS4 Pro or even a Xbox One X. I don't think this is quite exactly that. I think this is just a workaround, kind of like what Nintendo did when they made like a different switch with a different battery, I guess. So we'll see what happens with that. Again, take most of this with a grain of salt. Now, continuing on, Sony recently admitted that a redesign might be necessary in order to meet demand for the PlayStation 5. During the company's annual earnings report, Sony CFO Hiroki Totoki confirmed that in order to meet its sales targets, we could find maybe a secondary resource for the elusive semiconductors, or by changing the design. While these changes might just be internal, we wouldn't be surprised to see Sony give the console a fresh coat of paint, especially after the gargantuan beast was mercilessly mocked on release. And people have been laughing about the size. It's like that fucking big and really heavy, and it barely fits on the shelf. It's like halfway out on my gaming shelf. Now, this sales goal that they had, they wanted to beat the PS4 global sales, I guess, and they're so far doing pretty good. They've beaten several different PS4 records as far as shipping goes out and things like that. We just recently covered that, but they did have a pretty bold goal in mind for as far as worldwide shipping and sales and all that goes. And in order to meet that, they are definitely going to have to get these produced ASAP. So this does go on to say time will tell what Sony has in store design wise, but if it speeds up the production line, we're all for it. So who knows, guys? Again, take all this with a grain of salt. How quickly can they do this? And it also kind of begs the question of why didn't they just make the design in the first place? I know, all things considered, this is a work in progress right now. No electronics companies has ever had to deal with a worldwide situation like we're doing right now. And this is a first time. It's a learning process. We're all learning how to get by with it, no matter if it's the electronics industry or real life, with the average Joe. So you got to commend the companies for trying to make things better and stuff like that. And is it ideal that they already got to spend money, time, and development resources on making a new redesign for something that they worked on for the last several years? It's not ideal. You know what I mean? But this semiconductor, at the very least, maybe it's just going to be a change of what the semiconductor is, and the rest of the console will be the same. Because it's kind of a weird situation if you think about it, that they're already having to do the redesigns. And then this is just on the Sony end. Is this going to also affect the Microsoft end of things, or even the Nintendo Switch end of things, even though we've had Nintendo Switch Pro rumors for quite some time? It's going to be interesting to see just how many different companies have to make redesigns for their different products and stuff. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching.